Hello, we're going to run through the Advanced Algebra 2 syllabus together to understand try to understand what to expect this semester, this following year. We've got, I think, the regular topics for Advanced Algebra 2. We're going to start out with the equations, inequalities, what kind of numbers are out there, and then get into linear equations, linear functions, graphing those. As we do remote learning, I hope we start out with a review for you instead of new material. That way we start the new material when we come back to blended learning. And before the end of the semester, we will have quadratics turning into parabolas. Composition of this grade. Typically, I do not do homework participation as part of the grade. It's strictly what is your knowledge base, so that when someone next year sees this grade, they understand how much knowledge you have, not the work ethic, not anything else, but how much knowledge do you have. However, because we're in remote learning, I do want to give you points for homework and participation. Not sure what that will look like. Your first one coming up will be tomorrow, or will be Wednesday. The code word, that'll be a participation grade. So when you read the grading philosophy, this is in a typical year where I believe grades should be based on your knowledge, not how much you practice. So it'll look different this semester. Expectations, I don't expect everybody to learn at the same rate. So I accept retakes on quizzes and tests because I want you to gain the knowledge, which is another reason why I don't accept homework as grades, or at least I used to not, because I believe in understanding the material at your own pace. What will retakes look like during the school year or during remote learning? I'm unsure currently. However, I will keep you up to date on that. Most of this, like tardy policy, when we're in blended learning. Remote learning, you got to check Google Classroom. You can message me via Remind, or I've had a lot of people use Google Hangouts. I'm okay with Google Hangouts. That's totally appropriate. I'm going to assign homework almost every night of the week. You've got to keep practicing, especially now that we're in remote learning, to keep it going, and ask questions as soon as you come to a question. Quizzes, we're going to have one at least every week, or at most one quiz every week, where it'll help me understand your knowledge. Retakes, I will get back to you on this. Behavior, this is especially important whenever we have a Google Meet or a Zoom. It'll only be Google Meets. Show up on time, make sure your microphone and your video is off at first, and that way you can get settled. Only positive comments, we're all in this together, will be acceptable. And failure to do so can't remove you from the class. However, we'll keep each other in line. How to get help. The reason why it's in gray is because I don't know how else to get you help except emailing me, and we set up a time to do one-on-one practice, or set up a time to, or maybe I do an individual video of how to do a particular problem and then send it back to you. We'll figure this out. Materials are strong suggestions. Get loose leaf paper, get a binder, because if you're gonna get the physical copies of notes, it'll fit into your binder. I strongly suggest colored utensils. You're gonna see me when I take notes using color, and I strongly suggest you use color. Graphing calculator, Currently, we're going to be using a program called Desmos, which is an online graphing calculator. However, if you expect to take trig, pre-calc, stats next year, you will want a TI-84 or higher. And we will learn how to use those when we get back in the classroom. How to stay informed, the Remind app in Google Classroom. This is the run through of the syllabus. Let me know if you have any questions.